but it was the first one I remember was in the back then in the Shanghai train station. So back in 1983, 84, I had to go for a crap, and
Yeah.
the toilet was this shed that was about, I don't know, 100 feet long, and it was this one trench right down the middle, and about 400 guys squatting like butt to cheek, just going for a dump. Like the guy in front of you is like this far away from you, going for a crap. The guy behind you just, what the fuck is this? Is this? Did I stumble into some kind of movie that is like, this is like what? This is not what? It really threw me off. It just, I mean, for me, going to the toilet always used to be a pretty private thing, you know? Oh. All right,
That's
there we go. We're back. We're back again, as you all recognize from that sound, which is the first time we ever used this sound. That's why you recognize that sound there. Anyway,
yeah. Wise old bastards.
Wise old bastards.
And we're wise old bastards. And we got a guest today. Good old pal George. George Kuru from the land of the Kiwis.
Yeah.
Good old New Zealand. George is going to join us today.
Oh, New Zealand. So you're from are you from like Melbourne or Sydney or Canberra? I can say that.
It's cool.
I can say that because I know you're in Vientiane and you can't choke me to death. You can't reach across and get me. That's why I can say that kind of crap.
Yeah.
Anyway, today, so Kevin and George are in Laos.
Yeah,
Vientiane.
we're in Laos. Beautiful Laos. It's morning here. It's evening there. I like Laos. Laos is good.
Laos good. It's good,
George, you like Laos, right?
Oh, I love it
place.
here.
Yeah.
I love it here. It's quite nice at the moment. You know, it's nice. It's raining and it's cool and cheap. I'm into cheap. That's my main criteria for a great place.
Yeah,
to go
rumor
to.
has it that the beer is like outrageously expensive there. Isn't it like $1 or something?
I know it's gone up since the last time you were here. At least 10 cents.
Oh no!
At least 10 cents.
Oh no!
10 cents a gallon.
You'll never catch up with the Canadian prices. We're number one. You can't catch up with our prices here, man.
Oh yeah.
Our prices. We're not talking about my prices here. It's not fun. That's not the good part. But anyway, so wise old bastards. We've always said we're going to have more wise old bastards come on. I've known Kevin for a long time. I've heard stories about George, but I've actually never met George in person before.
Oh, really?
We'll tell you. No, cool. I don't think so.
Oh,
no.
Yeah. Yeah, George and I have known each other since, again, more donkey years. I think I actually know George before I met you, I believe. Somewhere about that same time.
1996, Kevin. When we
1996, yeah. Damn.
In Sabah. So,
no, we met in England first, didn't we?
No, after Sabah, you came over to England. Just to pester me.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. So Sabah was great.
Beers in the local pubs.
So, yeah. In Sabah, we had a good time. We were looking at a project down there, right?
Yeah, we were going over there and looking at logs and stuff like that with a guy called Bruce Telfer.
Bruce, good old
like
Bruce.
A legendary Southeast Asian guy.
Legendary.
I found it quite difficult because I was only probably early 30s. And I started working with these guys, and as soon as work finished, we'd be off drinking till 3 o'clock in the morning. And then...
Is that how the forestry world works there?
Going after about 5 days of it. So I was just begging my boss to send me back to the UK where I was based at the time. Yeah, I couldn't face another day going night clubbing. So it was pretty tough.
It was tough.
Assignment.
Somebody had to do it, though. I mean, we were young. We're foresters.
I remember one day we had to go out, and they in Sabah they have these big log rafts, and we had to walk out on log rafts. And I remember getting dizzy and just nearly falling off them into the water. That's when I knew we had to lay off the drink for a few days. So.
Yeah, Bruce was our leader, man. Bruce is like a hell raiser.
Yeah, Bruce was an athlete.
He was a what would you call it? Inspiration.
I've lost you guys.
When it comes to beer and party. Oh yeah. He was like, He's the catalyst, you know, and like in any experiment that something that's going to blow up, you need a catalyst. That's Bruce. Bruce he's the ignite the switch and boom. But it was fun. We had a good time.
So, ladies and gentlemen, y'all thought saving the world was easy, huh? No, man, it's hard work and dedication.
Yeah,
not easy to save the
right.
forest.
Very dedicated. Man. Yeah, exactly. And this is all precursors to beer hunters. It's all the beginnings of beer hunting, way in the back days. And George and I, we were working on it.
Yeah, that's why we figured that we're all qualified to work on the Beer Hunters International. We've all been hunting beers in some interesting places for a long time.
That's right. George's been around actually George gets around more than me. He's been freaking Africa how many times, and Ethiopia and all kinds of shit places.
We've gone through Africa, Ghana.
Yeah, we worked together in Ghana.
Congo, Ivory Coast, Liberia.
Now, how are the beers there?
Really fascinating country, which was Guinea-Bissau, which was a really great place. They have cheap beer as well, actually.
Guinness-Bissau, wow. Come on! Even Guinness. The name, what?
Guinness-Bissau.
Yeah,
there you go.
Ethiopia is another great place for cheap beer as well. So
really, damn.
Well, why am I sitting here in Vancouver? What the hell? What?
You can buy the beer on the side of the road in buckets. That's how great it is.
I like that. A bucket of beer.
Bucket of beer, yeah.
They give you a big ass straw.
Exactly.
Bamboo. You just suck it out with a big old bamboo pipe. Yeah.
No, I spent the last 30 plus years as a consultant, traveling around. I've really only had one permanent job, which lasted about a year and a half. I just found I couldn't stick it for a 9 to 5.
Was that working at McDonald's?
No. That was working for him. That was working for the same company as Kevin, SGS. Remember?
Good old SGS. Yeah.
That was the only real full-time job I've ever had in my life, actually.
Yeah, I worked there about 8 years.
I try and become a normal person for a while, and it turned out I didn't like it.
Yeah, so, that doesn't sound like much fun at all.
I had to head back to being a consultant. No job security, never knowing where you're going to go the next week at a time. So
interesting life. But the key point is, if you can go with a place that has cheap beer, that's a bonus.
It's true.
Yeah. But they get paid for it too. I mean, Laos, we were here. We worked together in Ghana, and I still remember stopping on the side of the road. They were selling something, and they made it out of palm or something. Remember that, George? What the hell that was?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
So a common thing they do there is when the palm oil is finished, they'll cut the palm down and leave it for about 4 weeks, and then they go and drill a hole in the trunk, and this sort of vile liquid flows out, and it's sort of really high up, horrible.
It's fermented in the tree, and we drank that shit. It tasted like shit. It really did. It was good.
They're right on the side of the road in buckets as well. Seems to be a trend.
Yeah, so that's
I remember Kevin drank a whole bottle of it. Didn't look very well afterwards.
Yeah, it wasn't so good. Yeah, I don't think I could finish the whole thing.
I couldn't.
Comes in a whole white.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, it was bad.
I couldn't stomach more than about half a glass. So,
no, it was not that good. But the local guys said, yeah, you have to have some of this shit. Yeah.
But this, going back to the beer in the buckets, that's like the guys on the roadside were just brewing their own beer right there?
Yeah, they brew it in the buckets. So it is pretty gross, I have to say. But and you can get this sort of bucket beer all over West Africa, actually.
A bucket beer. In the bucket list.
Warm then? Or hot, I guess? Sure.
Oh, it's sort of like horrible, sort of smelly, warmy type of thing. I couldn't tell you exactly how they make it, to be honest.
Either could they.
And I don't know if it's made out. I think it's made out of potatoes. So it's not really beer. So,
okay.
It's like watered down vodka. It's like
I'll call it beer, but it's sort of hard to say whether it really technically qualifies.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Yeah.
normally it's beers are usually a grain of some kind.
But how widespread are the breweries? How far out into little villages and roadside places do the cans and bottles make it? So a guy who has his own homebrew beer bucket, would he also be able to sell you a can of some local brewery beer?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you can get beer everywhere in Africa, and some of it, local beer is really pretty good. And they're huge people into Guinness. So, especially in West Africa,
One
they're
place
really
even
big.
named their whole goddamn country after it, so you know they like it.
Yeah.
Guinness.
So they're really big into it. The funny thing about Guinness is that for apparently I met the Guinness representative in Ghana actually, and he was saying that the ordinary Guinness is not tasty enough for the average African. So they have a special recipe that's like 2 times as thick. It's almost like a goo. And
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Actually, isn't the biggest Guinness brewery in the world actually is supposed to be like in Nigeria or something like that?
yeah, could well be.
Yeah,
I was
it's in
in
Africa.
Cameroon actually, and
Something like that.
for SGS looking at some logs and stuff. And they have the tallest mountain in Cameroon's called Mount Cameroon. It's pretty big somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But every year they have a race from the sea to the top of the mountain, and the prize is your weight in Guinness. So
so you got
it's-
all these fat
so that was
bastards
a
trying to run up a hill.
so you're running a marathon up to 20,000 feet or something, and you get like
You get
5
a
dozen.
pint.
Yeah, by the
So
time
the
you
skinny.
get to the top.
Here's your pint of beer.
Yeah.
They weigh like 30 pounds. Okay, it's 3 pints. Oh wow, that's terrible. Yeah, that's terrible. Oh shit, man.
Yeah, that's true.
So, be as
So if we
skinny as
were to
guys up
set up a Beer Hunters International expedition to go hunting beers in Africa, where would you suggest the most interesting places would be to go do that?
Oh,
that we don't get killed.
Yeah, a
oh,
little less killy.
narrows it down a bit, doesn't it? I really like Ethiopia as a beer drinking destination.
Oh,
It's more well known for its coffee, but
yeah, that's good coffee.
yeah, it's just a big adventure playground.
Hmm.
Ethiopia, Kenya's pretty good, although it's a little bit dangerous, and you could get poisoned by the bucket beer. But no,
Yeah.
and actually, Cameroon. Remember, Ghana had really good local beers. I can't
Ghana?
remember the name of any of them. Crown, was it Crown?
There was a couple beers there, I remember, but yeah,
Yeah,
I can't remember either.
They had local beers that were particularly good, and they were made out of rice. They had rice beer, and they also had cassava beer.
Oh,
And,
cool.
Yeah, so go to Ghana, and that's a fairly safe sort of destination as well.
Yeah, Ghana's easy. We have friends there.
Apparently, Nigeria's got pretty good beers, but there's a high likelihood you'll get kidnapped or shot or something.
But how good is the beer?
Oh, you remember the beer in Ghana, Kevin? It was pretty good.
That was good, but it's not good enough to get shot over.
It's not that good. Okay, all right.
Not that good. No,
exactly.
But yeah, so Ethiopia, Ghana for sure. Those are two normal destinations. There's probably some others, but I can't think either. I mean, we're going to do a South African tour. I have some special things in South Africa on the safari. Brewmaster right by the safari. We're going to do that one. So we could do an African tour.
Yeah, that's
African expedition.
Yeah.
I have good friends down there. And just last
some
night,
of the best African beers down in southern Africa are like what's that country that's sort of on the west? It's sort of ex-German country.
Ex-German.
Namibia.
I have to get it Google.
Namibia used to
Namibia. Yeah, they have really good
Zambia.
beers.
Yeah.
Because they're an ex-German sort of place, and it seems wherever the Germans go,
Yeah,
everything else might be screwed up about the country, but they seem to have pretty good.
Well, I guess that's true. Yeah, Germans and Belgians were crawling all over down there. That's some kind of good beer legacy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They did leave at least one good thing behind.
Yeah,
You know,
there you go.
so,
It's not all
Yeah,
bad.
that's true. That's good.
It's
not
That's
all
not
true.
all
bad.
bad.
No, exactly.
There you
Spoken like a
go.
true consultant. Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
Kevin wanted me to recount a thing that people have told me, and we've worked as consultants most of our lives, and it's not a universally loved profession, actually. And I met a person who he said to me, "Oh, what's the difference between a prostitute and a consultant?" And the reply was, "The consultant's got more integrity, general
no,
likability, doesn't
I
it?"
think it's the other way. The prostitutes get more integrity.
I don't know. Prostitutes got more. Yeah, yeah. Well, I haven't been
No,
brought on
yeah.
this podcast for my joke telling.
You got to practice on that one. Yeah. No, yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably
No,
true.
it's much
I
better
mean,
the other way around, actually, isn't it?
What?
It's good. The prostitute is much better than the consultant. Somehow.
yeah, it depends.
Which one's
So,
cheaper?
yeah.
And that really blew the joke, actually. No, the prostitute is definitely better than the consultant because they have more integrity, general likability.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, consultants, you're always running around looking for jobs. It's true. It's lucky to have a kind of a long term contract, and we've been lucky to have a few of those, and this is one of those. But normally, yeah, you have all these short term stuffs, and things grow, and it's like clients. You have like 1 week or 2 weeks or a couple of days of training or some shit. It's all over the place. So but it's tough. It's tough business. When you earn money, you can earn good money. But then the thing is, they're trying to screw you down again, right? Every time for the money we used to charge per day rates, we used to charge 20 years, 15 years ago. We're still charging the same now. It's hardly changed, you know?
Yes,
But the
there's some
price of
truth in
living
that.
and everything went up. Everything went up except our fees. That
Well, I
sucks.
like to say that I gave up my 9 to 5 to have a 5 to 9. You know, it's
Yeah.
the way that it
Yeah.
feels to be consulting. But on the other hand, we get to go to all these sort of wonderful places, you know,
Yeah.
like
That's true.
log yards and you know,
Yeah.
or other
Yeah. We
shitty
were in a,
towns around the world.
yeah. Well, we went up to a log area in northern Vancouver and
Oh,
I
right.
had beer. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's called Scarlet Ibis. It was really nice. It was a bit hell of a drive. We went up to Expedition up there. It was fun. It was nice, and drove way in a couple hours to get in there. And we ended up at this little pub in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the forest, northern
Yeah.
Vancouver Island. And and we stayed in some adventure toilets or something. adventure,
They just
adventure
looked
huts or
like outhouses. They weren't
They
actually
look like a fucking
outhouses.
outhouse.
They just looked like it. They weren't actually functioning outhouses anymore.
Yeah, actually, they didn't have an outhouse in the thing that looked like the outhouse. You had to go out
Yeah.
to another place to take
The
a
hole
dump.
was outside. Okay, so
So yeah, we had that. Yeah, it was fun. But yeah,
I've
no,
got to
we've
say,
done a lot of this
I've
shit.
travelled to a lot of countries in the third world, and I've been to some pretty horrendous toilets. And that could be a subject matter for another podcast, actually.
Oh yeah. And Guatemala, China. Oh yeah. China.
Even Laos has got a few horrendous toilets that I've sort of wandered into.
Oh
I
really?
wish
In Laos? I don't know.
Laos,
It's actually, Laos to me, I haven't had that bad of experience versus China and Guatemala and some other
yeah.
countries. Ooh.
Yeah,
I came
I'm
across a
flashing
pretty bad
back
one.
now. You're right, George. You're right. That's actually a whole podcast. I can think. I like the top 10 or 15 are flashing through my head right now. It's just
Yeah.
like
Yeah, the worst toilets I've ever been to. Sort of as the
I'm in
podcast.
Africa. In Africa, yeah, the
Oh,
worst
that's
toilets.
nice. Yeah,
That'd be a shitty
they're like,
podcast.
yeah,
African toilets are like a whole category all by themselves. That,
Yeah.
you know, like they're sort of like they're like another level of disgusting and
Yeah.
horrible.
And then like you're on a train and you go to the toilet, you look down, there's a fucking hole. That's it. That's your toilet,
I
Well, you got
remember
shit or
when
piss?
I was working in China out in the country somewhere, and I went to the toilet, and it was just an overhang, and down the bottom were like a group of 20 pigs.
yeah,
And
yeah, fairly, yeah.
Yeah.
They were
For
waiting
me,
for
when
me
I
to
my
load, and
first
they were fighting over this piece of poo that
something,
dropped out there.
yeah,
It
something.
was just horrible, actually.
Yeah. My first scary toilet was in China. It was
Oh yeah.
when I first went to Asia. I was on a scholarship to study in China 500,000 years ago, and I remember it wasn't even by very quickly. I realized that wasn't like the standard of toilet wasn't that bad compared to what's going on. But it was the first one I remember was in the back then in the Shanghai train station. So back in 1983, 84, I had to go for a crap, and
Yeah.
the toilet was this shed that was about, I don't know, 100 feet long, and it was this one trench right down the middle, and about 400 guys squatting like butt to cheek, just going for a jump. Like the guy in front of you is like this far away from you, going for a crap. The guy behind you just, what the fuck is this? Is this? Did I stumble into some kind of movie that is like, this is like what? This is not what. It really threw me off. It just, I mean, for me, going to the toilet always used to be a pretty private thing, you know.
Yeah.
I never,
No. I mean, it's quite a thing to watch, like a rural Westerner come to a developing country for the first time
Yeah.
and taking them to the toilet.
yep.
When they come out, they're like, their face is drained with blood, and they look as though they want to break down and cry, and you need to take them back to the
Oh, I'm
hotels.
sure we've all had our favorite
Oh man.
favorite restaurants and toilets that you would take your customers or clients to along the way. I used to
know.
do this. I used to, knowing full well there's a much nicer toilet like 2 blocks up that way, or a much nicer restaurant, but we would take him to this one just to get that reaction.
Would have been dead on arrival.
Yeah, no, it really stinks, man. That's a shitty. It's bad. I mean, uh, and even in Asia,
Probably
because the
one
first
of the
time,
downsides of our work life, isn't it?
yeah,
Terrible.
I mean, in Asia, the first thing I learned was about the squatting toilet. Where you don't have a seat, you just squat in the damn thing. It's like, what the hell? How do I use this fucking thing? How do I not fall in the damn thing? It's like it's on the floor. You got to squat down. Shit, I learned. I did that in Thailand and Malaysia. I was like, holy shit. When I'm young, it's not so bad, but now, holy no.
You know what I found funny about that though? I did the
Yeah.
same. Like I lived in
Yeah.
Asia for a long time. There was squat
Yeah.
toilets everywhere. And then the first time I went to France, first time I went to Paris on a business trip, downtown on the Champs Elysees, and then somewhere go, and I had to use the toilet in this place, and the toilet was downstairs. It was a squatter. I'm like, it's not a Chinese restaurant or anything. Like, what the fuck's going on here? Is this a whole thing? Is it just like? Is it only in my hometown in Canada we actually have things you sit on? I thought the whole world had those. Maybe it's only my house has that. I don't know. No one else in the world has that. What's going on?
Yeah.
Well,
George, you went to France. You went to France. Did you have squatting toilets in French too? France?
No, but I went with a friend of mine, and we were staying in a hotel, and he calls me up. He was panicking, right? And he was saying, "Oh, George, the toilet won't flush." And so I went in there and had, they had those bidets, or what are they called?
Yep.
Bidets.
Bidet.
He got a crap at the bidet. And I said, what the hell have you been doing?
It keeps squirting back.
He's screwed.
I said, that's not what he's for. And he goes, what is it? I said, I don't know, actually. I'd never seen one either, but it wasn't a toilet.
Well, it was like the first time my wife ever saw a bidet was, Kevin, you might remember the house I had in Kiara Hills back in KL.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a nice house, and up there
it was a fancy one.
It was kind of fancy. So we had like a big bathroom with the jacuzzi and a whole bit, but it came with a toilet and a bidet. So when my wife first saw it, I go upstairs and she's standing there looking at the toilet, going like, there's like a faucet in this. She's like, what? Like, is there a quality problem? Is the QC problem? They didn't put a hole in this one or something. It's like, and why they built that there was, I don't know, that was weird to find it there.
Yeah.
But
you can trust them, actually.
But you know, we're all moving to Japan just because of the Japanese toilets, right?
Exactly. You want a toilet, you go to Japan. That thing will wash you, flush you, dry your butt, shine it, polish it, probably everything, and massage your balls too by the time you're done. Those toilets are amazing, man. It's just unbelievable. Yeah, you just can't match it. So every time we fly through Japan, the first thing I want to do, let's go to the toilet. Take a beer and go to the toilet. enjoy the moment. Oh man, yeah, nothing like that.
Book or a magazine.
Yeah. No, it's great. But yeah, nobody does toilets like Japanese. They're the Mercedes or whatever Rolls Royce of toilets. Yeah.
Right. I'm going to Japan for the first time in January, so I really look forward to.
Oh, so make sure you eat some bad curry or something first, just to make sure you really get your money's worth.
Yeah, so you already know what the toilet's for, really.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's I mean, we talk about like Asia and the squat toilets, and people can get the wrong impression. A lot of people listening may not have been to many places in Asia. It's weird, the dichotomy, right? I mean, you go to Kuala Lumpur, you go to just so many cities in Asia where I don't think we have a city in Canada as cosmopolitan and fancy as Kuala Lumpur. And yet we talk about like the squat toilets and things. And some places like the first place I ever ran across I call it high tech. It's not high tech, but like the waterless urinals.
Oh yeah.
Right? So it's kind of high tech plastic or ceramic, so that you don't need the water to flush it. First time I ran across that was actually in Surabaya in Indonesia.
Yeah.
So it's you go to a factory where it's got a squat hole that you're holding your nose while you're going, and then 10 minutes later there's a urinal that I'm sitting there going like, how does this work? There's no pipe coming in, no water. Am I supposed to be pissing in this thing? Is this just a decoration? You're like, I'm not sure what to do here. So,
yeah, it is true, man. But in you're Jakarta, George. I mean, that's pretty much like KL. I mean, the same. I'm sure you have lots of squatting shit as well as normal stuff.
Yeah, the toilet scene in Jakarta is pretty wild.
The toilet scene, I like that.
Toilet scene, yeah.
Goes from from some of the worst in the world to some of the greatest toilets.
Okay.
I was in a luxury hotel in Jakarta, and I walked in and had an automatic lid lifter.
Yeah.
That's fantastic, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it was
kind of come shit at me.
Yeah.
Marina
I don't know
Bay.
why you need a heated toilet seat in Jakarta, but this one was
to be air conditioned. But it's like that's not bad. But it's funny that like in Jakarta, you've been there obviously a million times more than me, but I've never run across, even in the fancy hotels, where you have the toilet attendant. Right? So like in Hong Kong, remember, used to always be the fancy hotels in Hong Kong. You go in and there's a guy standing in there who will he'll lift the lid for you, he'll flush for you, hands you the towel and gives you a little cologne and the soap and the whole bit. And, and I remember when it first weirds you out the first few times, right? It's like like this guy's like watching, inspecting, and grading, like never mind, he's maybe not measuring, but he's watching your technique. And he's like, did I do well? Did I, but I remember talking to one of these guys once, and he'd been working in one of the big fancy chains, global chain. He was working in there as an attendant in the washroom, and he had made enough money over the years to put his sons through university in the UK. Wow. He sent 2 kids to the UK university based on the money he made standing in a toilet, getting paid. I'm not sure how much, but just on tips in the toilet.
Tips and shit. Yeah. I mean, that's.
Yeah, I think there is this thing about Asia in particular. Personal privacy is not such a big issue as it might be in the West. It's okay for people to be around you, and
when you're taking the shit.
It's like time with you in the toilet.
It's the one thing I didn't like.
Yeah,
I didn't like when the attendant go up and you're taking a piss. You're standing there, and all of a sudden you get this massage. You go, "What the hell's going on?"
Yeah. Hey, Kevin, what the hell kind of bars were you hanging out in, man? Hang on. That never happened to me. Where you at?
It's like, no. It's okay. I'll tip you, but don't do that. And then you turn around.
I'll tip you if you stop.
You kind of miss your
That's
bark,
not
you know?
just given. It doesn't sound like any toilet I normally.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
I was gonna say,
I
yeah.
don't know where that was. It's like overly aggressive attendance, you know.
And we're just talking like in 5-star hotels. We're not talking about the kind of toilet adventures you get in some of the karaoke bars and things. That's a whole different episode. That's for the Pornhub episode.
Yeah.
That's
Pornhub.
a whole different ball of wax. There, but still, so yeah.
Yeah, toilets of the world. What? Well, you never know what we're talking about today. Okay, Africa must have some of the shittiest ones of all, right? I mean, Ghana wasn't so bad. I remember mostly Ghana wasn't too bad at all. But other ones, like if we're going to do a beer hunters thing in Ethiopia, what do we get to look at? We got to dig our own. We got to bring a shovel, dig our own hole.
Yeah, they're pretty shabby places. And one of the funny things is where we were working, everyone walked around with sort of like a saber or a knife or something like this, right? So it wasn't that they were going to kill you, but it was sort of like they could do if they really wanted to. So that was interesting. But I had a big sort of Bowie knife that I got somewhere, and I put that on. They were really quite impressed by that. And come over and
so we have to bring knives.
Compared. Yeah, it's sort of a ceremonial thing where we were down in Awassa.
Okay.
And because these guys are mainly like cowboys, you know, they spend all their day on the horse.
In Ethiopia.
Looking after sheep and cows and stuff like that. And then you go down to the bar and they'd be down there, you know. Sort of a real cowboy attitude to them, actually.
This is Ethiopia.
So, this is Ethiopia.
Ethiopian cowboys.
Yeah.
Damn. I have to bring a cowboy hat.
Yeah,
bring some
all
spurs
through
and
that
shit.
sort of Sahel region, you know, and in the sort of semi-desert area of Africa. They've got these sort of cattlemen who spend all their lives in the saddle. And,
well, if you walk into a small bar in a small town down there, like here, even in Canada, you go to like a farming or cowboy kind of community. You go into a little bar somewhere, and one of the things they all love to do is fight. There's nothing else to do, so the bar fights happen all the fucking time. Is that similar there too?
No, well, I don't know actually. I wouldn't want to be in a fight there actually.
Yeah, they got big ass knives.
Knives and blood feuds go 9 generations if you start it.
That's not a good combination there. I mean, that's I think, okay, George, you're going to have to, when you stop in Japan, pick us a couple of big old samurai swords, and then we'll go down. At least we got a sword to go with. There you go. So they'd be cool. Cowboy hats and samurai swords. And boots.
How about getting those swords through customs?
Yeah,
should be no problem.
Yeah, we're in competition. No.
I mean, you should come over and do a few pub crawls in New Zealand. You know?
Oh, yeah.
That'd be a thing, yeah. You meet a lot of those country knuckleheads who'll probably sort of try and whack you.
Like you said, the last time I went on a pub crawl in New Zealand, I suffered for like 3 days. That was, I don't know, man. The Kiwis are deceptive. They seem so friendly and cuddly, and it's like here, have another. Almost like when you go to China and you're one of those big round tables with 10 people, and they all go gambé, but it's all one at a time to you. Till later you realize, shit, I had 10 shots while these had one. That's the way I found New Zealand. You go into a bar in New Zealand. Where are you from, mate? Canada. Have a beer. Have a drink. And they're all having like one drink, and you've had like 25 in about 5 minutes. You're like, what the fuck's going on? So dangerous. New Zealand is the most dangerous place I've ever been.
It's always a battle of the friendliest people is Kiwis and Canadians, you know?
Yeah,
you guys got to find it out.
Damn it. You always claim to be the nicest people on earth, and we really object to that. In New Zealand,
fuck you, we're nicer. Fuck you, we're nicer. Fuck you.
They're always trying to steal our thunder about niceness, and it's really pissing us off.
Yeah. Oh,
to a few people. It's a serious issue.
It's a serious issue. Can't be too damn nice, man. We're bastards.
how
It says so in the
how
name.
the whole
Wise
world,
old
the
bastards.
whole world got that impression of Canada. But it was easy. The whole world, all y'all are stupid. We just say sorry a lot, and y'all think we're so nice. Oh, sorry, well, we're doing whatever the fuck we want. We just say sorry, and they're so nice as we're like taking shit. It's like, oh, sorry, man, I don't understand how the money works here. Sorry, sorry, I'm getting on the bus. I don't know how lines work. Sorry. It's like,
Yeah,
easy.
well, this podcast is wise old bastard, so it doesn't matter where the hell you come from, but it better be a bastard. We got a reputation to uphold.
Yeah.
So,
Like, yeah.
but
Wise,
just ask your
wise
wife.
old polite guys. Whoa, what? Bunch of wops? What?
No, it doesn't work. But yeah. So it's been an interesting episode. It's kind of shitty.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Been a pleasure.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, okay.
George,
Yeah.
we have to join on the Beer Hunter International expedition. Oh yeah, we might be doing a little hunt today. We're looking at going
something
to
tonight,
that. Yeah, it's at craft beer place. There's one craft beer
right.
place here in Laos, the only one I know of, and it's about 20 minutes away. So I think we're gonna head back up there again and revisit that area. We did it once, so we're gonna do it again. They have excellent beer, but we need to try them all. I only tried like 3, but they got like 6 or 7, and they brew it there. It's really nice, really good place, beautiful place too. So
Cool,
I think
yeah.
we'll do
Find out from him also where his where the tanks all came from. One of our episodes, we got to go to China to find some of the brewery suppliers.
Yeah.
Talk to some of those guys.
Yeah.
Say everywhere we
Yeah.
go, all the brewery suppliers on the planet now, it all comes from China.
Yeah.
So let's go see
his
those
stuff.
guys, get them to tell their story.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll check that out. We'll get
Seems
that
fairly
information. Yeah, sounds good.
All right, so George, we expect you to have 15 or 20 Sapporos and Kirins and tell us which one is better. We need to report back when you're back from Japan.
I'll prepare a field report.
Yeah, exactly.
There you
Thank
go.
you. Okay, guys.
Yeah,
Okay,
do a
mate.
desk audit of it. All
I
right.
think I'll leave you to
All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It was nice to have George on. We'll have him back again some other day. Maybe we'll continue this the shittiest episode we've ever had on toilets across the world.
Shittiest episode we ever had.
Shittiest episode we've ever had.
I like that title.
And we just barely scratched the surface of that. I think we could talk for hours and hours, and we probably should. I'm thinking of a few other places even as we talk. So on that happy note, thank you everybody.
Yep.
We'll see you all next time.
Adios.
Ciao.
Adios.
Bye.
Bye.